Hey everybody, Mike Naso here with your daily tropical video update. And you can see, first of all, if you look in the central Pacific, there's Hurricane Daniel headed towards the state of Hawaii. Behind it in the eastern Pacific is Tropical Storm Amelia headed parallel to the Baja, trying to become a hurricane, very large tropical cyclone. Once we move into the Atlantic Basin, you can see right there is Invest 98E, and then further out there's a tropical wave that will likely become an Invest and potentially a tropical cyclone down the road. So, a lot to get to today. First, we're going to start with the Gulf of Mexico. Reconnaissance was canceled today. It's looking a little bit more interesting, getting some strong winds out there, and you're starting to see maybe some curving with the bands, but still mostly just flow like this, not really seeing any signs of a circulation. Nevertheless, a lot of moisture moving on up towards the Texas coast, maybe even towards Louisiana over the next couple of days. Now you can see here's the model spread, and right now they're initializing it near 2490, say 98, 97, 98, 24, 98, somewhere around there, very close to the Mexican coast. If it is that close, it's not going to have a lot of time to develop. If it forms further out, if at all, and continues north towards Texas, then we could see more development. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But right now, somewhere in this general area looks to be where this moisture will head over the next couple of days. Further out, here is that tropical wave. There are two areas of interest with that. Up here, there's a little spin, and then further to the south, and there's a lot of Saharan air layer, dry air, which is keeping this in check. However, over the next week, we're really going to see things go in about 1 week as we get towards August 1st through 4th. Almost all the long-range models indicate just a lot of trouble brewing in the tropics, especially the GFS. The GFS has been very good with not spinning July hurricanes out of nowhere like they sometimes show. So if they keep showing all the activity starting August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, then I believe them, because that's in about, say, 7 to 10 days. But this wave should continue towards the Lesser Antilles, and we will have to wait and see also another wave north of Puerto Rico. This one's kind of drifting southward, not showing any signs of development. You can see further out, first of all, there's our wave we just mentioned. You can see a lot of moisture with it, not tons of dry air. The dry air, I think, is not as big as a factor as last year. You can see up here, but in general, moving off Africa, a lot of moisture throughout the ITCZ. Pretty good wave just came off. Watch that down the road. In the eastern Pacific, or I'm sorry, the central Pacific, there's Hurricane Daniel, a powerful 90-mile-an-hour hurricane. Was up at about 150 miles per hour 2 days ago, had been weakening. West-northwest at 13, directly towards the state of Hawaii. 980 millibars, still gusting to Category 3. Now, it's only expected to remain a hurricane until Tuesday evening, and then weaken to a strong tropical storm. But with low shear and warm water temperatures, there's really no reason why it should weaken to a remnant low by Friday and Saturday. So on Friday, it's expected to make landfall in the state of Hawaii at about 60 miles per hour. And there is a chance it could be a little bit weaker, a little bit stronger, but at this point, you can see that it's definitely right there on a collision course with one of our United States, just not one of our lower 48 states. So we got to keep a close eye on it. Still a small hurricane. It looked a lot bigger when it had that large annular appearance as a Category 4, but now that it's down to a 1, looking pretty skimpy. Nevertheless, it could make a comeback, and I wouldn't be surprised to still see it be a hurricane as it approaches Hawaii. Remember Hurricane Jimena? That was weakening 2-3 years ago as it moved westward. So we're going to wait and see what happens, but Hawaii, brace for Daniel. There's a look as we move into the eastern Pacific. There's Daniel moving off your screen there. And here is Amelia, a very large tropical storm, and that is why it has not reached hurricane strength or major hurricane strength yet. It would have probably been a strong hurricane by now, but it's so large that it's pulling in a lot of drier air, and that is kind of impeding on the core, so it's not being able to wrap around a small eye and just kind of bottom out. Nevertheless, it is still a strong tropical storm, and it is still forecast to become a hurricane, just not a Category 2. 65-mile-an-hour winds right now. West-northwest at 9. It was moving northwest, then it kind of turned north, and then it turned back west-northwest, and now it's going to kind of parallel the Baja. And it could get up towards 90 miles an hour, so pretty potent Category 1, but certainly not anything like we were thinking yesterday. And again, it looked pretty impressive. The Hurricane Center was saying 85 knots, and you know, when you have large tropical cyclones, sometimes they're just not as favorable as smaller ones. Here's a typhoon, Typhoon Kaimi, making landfall in southern Taiwan. Very, very cold cloud tops, and behind it, area of disturbed weather. This could become a system potentially over the. I believe if it did become a storm, its name would be Prapi-Rune. So we'll have to watch that. Here's the latest on Typhoon Kaimi. 85-mile-per-hour winds, was up to about 105 miles an hour, been weakening. Still gusting to 105, northwest at 10. So the track has it turning more west-northwest into China, but if it continues northwest, then it might just cross on over Taiwan. Still have to wait and see on that, though. That's the latest on the tropics. I'll see you next time.